Getting ready for the second Cup Series race ever at Nashville Superspeedway, and we need to set the field. So qualifying about to get underway for the Cup cars as they are lined up on pit road. It'll be two separate groups that will be making their way out onto the track. The fastest 5 in Group A and the fastest 5 in Group B will then determine the final 10 starting spots. Rick Allen, Jeff Burton, Steve Letarte, and Parker Kligerman with you this afternoon as the heat has been the story. BJ McLeod about to roll out onto the track, the first driver to take on the mile and a third here at Nashville. There are the rules. Again, two groups. The first group will go out. Those cars, all single car runs for 1 lap. Post that time, and the fastest 5 of Group A and the fastest 5 of Group B will then determine the top 10 starting spots.
And BJ McLeod, all eyes on BJ right now. If I'm driving a race car, I do not want to go on the racetrack first. I want to have some other cars go on the track, show me where they think the fastest line is, then me go out there and do the best job I can. These hot, slick conditions make that even more difficult, Rick, because you just don't know where to go looking for the grip. After the truck race last night, I'm even more confused because they ran from the wall to the white line. So where am I supposed to put this car today?
BJ McLeod, the 38-year-old, has been an owner in the sport for over a decade now in the Xfinity Series, Truck Series, now running this 78 car, and 31,985 for BJ McLeod. If you look at yesterday's practice, actually didn't post a time yesterday, so nothing to compare that to. As next out onto the track will be J.J. Yaley in the 15. Just his 7th start this season.
Just watched Xfinity qualifying, and we saw how much those cars were slipping and sliding all over the racetrack. And talking to these Cup drivers, how difficult these cars are to drive, I expect to see more of that slipping and sliding as drivers try to find that edge of grip.
You mentioned Xfinity Series. JJ's running the full Xfinity Series this season, so he just got off the track from qualifying. Parker.
And Jeff, one big difference about what these Cup cars are experiencing compared to those Xfinity cars is about a cloud cover came over right as we went to start this qualifying session here on the Cup side. And I swear, I mean, I don't have the metrics or the statistics to back this up. It feels about 10 degrees cooler right now. And I mean, it's really seriously cloud covered over the whole racetrack. So I think this might change the grip level that some of these drivers are going to experience compared to what we saw in Xfinity.
So, Parker, I retract my comment that I want to go early. Because if I can get that cloud cover on an early run, that could be a major advantage for somebody, because we do know it's, if the sun comes out, it's only going to get hotter as qualifying goes on. So if you could get a cloud cover early in this run, that could become an advantage.
Here comes the 77 of Josh Bilicki now. Josh with the Ziegler Auto Group Chevrolet. Bilicki, the 27-year-old from Wisconsin, driving for Spire Motorsports. They've got 2 entries with Bilicki and Corey Joy in the 7.
These guys also, we talked about trying to find that edge of grip. You know, there's these smaller, underfunded teams can't afford to crash a car in qualifying. So they are, you know, it's very difficult for these guys to go out and try to find that edge, knowing that if you cross over, so that big move right there by Bilicki, the car moving around, you just can't afford to have a crash in one of these smaller teams right now.
Bilicki 31.091, which is second fastest of the 3 that have been on the track. About to make their way out on the track now for his qualifying run will be Harrison Burton, the 21-year-old from Huntersville, North Carolina, driving for Wood Brothers Racing. Has Dex imaging on the hood of that Ford. Coming off a career best finish at Charlotte of 11th at the World 600. Rookie takes the green here. What did you tell him about Nashville, Jeff?
He's raced here more than I have, so I didn't tell him much. He ran really well here last year in the Xfinity race, had a chance to win that race, so came here with a lot of confidence. This so far, I don't think is the lap he was looking for. They struggled yesterday in practice. They ran a 30-30 yesterday, and right now I don't think he's going to get to that pace.
Trying to get a little bit closer to it, but as you mentioned, probably not going to get down to a 30-30 what he saw yesterday. 30-47 for Harrison. But that is the fastest of the 4 that have been out there. This will be a good test when Denny Hamlin comes out onto the racetrack. Toyota's pretty strong yesterday here at Nashville in practice.
Yeah, Denny was 9th fastest yesterday. You mentioned the Toyotas. Bubba Wallace in a Toyota was the fastest. Kyle Busch was 2nd fastest in a Toyota. Crazy year for Denny Hamlin.
It has been.
I mean, 2 wins, but all over the place as far as finishes. And you just look around sometimes, you're like, what? Were they finished where?
Yeah, inconsistency
yes.
really has been the word for Denny Hamlin's 2022 season. You see him in the green early and then right back into the red on that entry into 1.
And making it back up on corner exit, though.
Hamlin, the only driver without a title in the same breath as Junior Johnson, with his 48 career wins, just a couple behind Junior Johnson without a championship, but a Hall of Famer on his way, as we see a pretty good lap there for Denny Hamlin, 29.84. But I think that's a good indicator. That's just a bit quicker than what he ran in practice yesterday. Let's go to Steve Letarte.
Thanks, Rick. Joined now by the driver of the 24 for Hendrick Motorsports, William Byron. William, big year, 2 wins, one of the few drivers with multiple wins, new contract extension, multiple years, a lot of great things happening in your camp. Let's talk about here at Nashville. How's the weekend been so far?
Yeah, it's been good. You know, we struggled really bad at Gateway, so we showed up here with a new package and a week off to kind of put a lot of our best effort into being good here at Nashville. So far, so good. We were 5th in practice and had pretty good average. So just have to keep working on it. Qualifying, it's been a guessing game all year of balance. So I feel like we've got a good idea of what we need on the mile tracks or the flat tracks and what we need on the 1.5 miles. So hopefully that pays off.
We're watching the helmet camera of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. currently tracking well above 5th position. That's the goal, top 5.
Yeah.
So for those just tuning in, 2 different groups. You got to be in the top 5 of your group. Is the strategy round 1 just still go as absolutely hard as you can to try to guarantee a spot in that top 5?
Yeah, round 1's a lot more pressure than round 2. I mean, we've been fortunate to go to round 2 a few times, and I feel like round 2 you're just playing with house money. You're just going out, try to get the pole. The worst you can do is 10th. Just don't hit the wall or don't do anything like that. So this round 1 is stressful. You have all the time to watch these guys go, and then luckily for us, we kind of know what our target's going to be by the time we go, but makes it tough.
Cole Custer on the track. All right, so from afar, I've been watching these races. I've come to a few. Craziness, different winners, different cars. It seems impossible to predict.
Yeah.
How do you see it? What has made this year so crazy with just a variety of successful teams and drivers?
Yeah, it's just, not having the notebook. I mean, I go back to preseason testing and who was fast at certain tracks, and it's showed throughout the season so far that the first time around at some of those similar style racetracks, those guys are still fast. So we're lucky to be fast in preseason testing. But honestly, the places we got our wins were kind of new, fresh tracks that we didn't really get a chance to test with Martinsville. So, just feel like it's about trying to build a notebook, and that's why you see so much parity is guys are hitting it, missing it, and there's big hits or big misses on both sides, so it's been hard.
Good lap for Cole Custer in 2nd. Real quick, Nashville. How cool is it to be in Nashville? I've been down in the city. It's electric.
Yeah.
This speedway has been full of people. It seems like it's just a great weekend.
Oh, it's amazing. I was here in May before Darlington racing at the fairgrounds down the street, and awesome racetracks here, awesome facility here at Nashville Super Speedway, and it's cool. I feel like we'll get a good crowd tomorrow, and just excited. 2nd time around here. We had a good result last year, so we just got to keep it up.
2 wins already. Keep building those playoff points.
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you joining us.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve, and appreciate William giving us a little time there before he climbs behind the wheel. As Eric Jones now out on the track. And actually, William Byron, we'd mentioned a contract extension for him. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., while he was on track, wanted to make sure to mention yesterday it was announced he'll have a multiple-year deal with JTG Doherty Racing.
Eric Jones, he got in the corner and went to the bottom, and the car didn't stay there. Chased the car way up the racetrack. Wasn't able to carry the speed off of the corner that he was hoping to.
Again, going off of the top 5, that's what these drivers are trying to do, is make sure they stay in the top 5, as we see Eric Jones slotted 3rd now behind Hamlin and Custer. Now it's Harrison Burton that's on the line for that 5th position. Again, Group A will go out, and all those drivers will take a lap, and then Group B will go out, and the top 5 in each of those groups will then battle for the pole. And a name that has come up many times as far as the possibility of grabbing that pole would be Christopher Bell in the 20. And he also has been impressive this week already here at Nashville.
Yeah, 3 poles so far this year for Christopher Bell. He's been really fast. Had a good conversation with Christopher this week, and he's been very happy with this race team. He feels like they're the best Gibbs car as far as speed, but they just haven't been able to put finishes together. Pit stops haven't been great, but he is very, very happy with this race team and the speed that they have.
Almost 0.3 of a second ahead of Harrison Burton now for a top 5 spot. And coming to the stripe now, Bell will go to 2nd at 30.070 for Christopher Bell. Again, trying to get into the top 5 so they can keep going. Joey Logano still to go out on track. Kevin Harvick looking to turn things around. Brian Blaney as well. Michael Jordan's here. Bubba Wallace was fastest yesterday. Busy day today. USA has Austin Dillon's Life in the Fast Lane. That's coming up at 2:30. Then countdown to green. Xfinity Series Racing. Again, 250 miles from right here in Nashville. And NASCAR America post-race show will be at 6 o'clock. As Martin Truex Jr. is now on the clock and still winless this season. It was just announced, "I'll be back," is what he said when he was asked what's going to happen in 2023 for Martin Truex Jr. He said he will be back. So a very simple comment that is resounding for that organization. As we see Truex, again, we're comparing to 5th because the top 5 will advance into the final round of qualifying for the chance to earn the pole. And so Truex is slotted 3rd now in 30.074. Now Eric Jones has moved to that bubble position.
I'm so glad that Martin Truex Jr. has decided to come back. I know that, talking to Martin, he just wanted to make sure that he was 100% committed, understood where the sport was going, and the fact that he's coming back is great. That man can still get it done.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad he's able to make that decision on his own terms. It's good to see.
Here's Justin Haley in the 31. The 23-year-old from Indiana is full-time in the Cup Series this year with Colleague Racing. Again, they have advanced with 2 charters in the Cup Series.
Done a really nice job this year in his rookie year. I've been really impressed with the finishes he's been able to get. He's been able to manage the races really well. He's done a really nice job. Average finish of just over 18th for a rookie with a brand new team.
Right.
That's a very, very, very solid rookie year.
Yeah, Matt Colley, Chris Rice, a huge investment in making this work for the Cup Series side. They had great success on the Xfinity Series side. See Booty Barker, crew chief there for Bubba Wallace as they're waiting to go out on track.
I wonder if it's a little pressure when you turn around and look and there's MJ standing.
Probably a little bit.
On qualifying day.
Jumpman right there. But Bubba puts a lot of pressure on himself anyway. I mean, he was excited about the fact that he was able to post a speed that he posted yesterday, the fastest in practice. So now you've got MJ here watching on, co-owner of 2311 with Denny Hamlin. It's Austin Dillon that's on the track now. Watched USA Network's Life in the Fast Lane on Thursday. Austin, his wife Whitney, and Paul Swan and his wife Mariel giving us a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like in the world of Cup Series racing from both the driver's seat as well as from pit row. That's where Paul Swan works. And Austin goes 30.152, so 30.15 for Dillon. Now he is 5th quickest in this first group. Seven more to go in Group A to determine who will be the Fast Five. Chase Briscoe making his way onto the track, and he's one of the bright spots for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2022. Got his first career win at Phoenix earlier this year.
I think the most impressive thing about Chase Briscoe, let's ride along with him. Watch what he does. It's an upshift on the front straightaway. Just took the green. Drives far into the corner. Quick downshift. Whoa, big moment right there. Really had to catch the car. Got very loose on him. You see what it did to his time on corner exit. Another upshift. Again, got as many RPMs as he could. Just does not have the back of the car where he needs it to be to attack this racetrack. With this car, Rick, if you can't drive in the corner exceptionally deep and have the car stick, it's not going to be a good lap. You can see him shaking his head. All of the time lost was on corner entry. Just, yes, way loose and in a horrible place. Drives into the corner, puts the car right where he wants it to. The car hadn't even loaded up yet. It's not at max load, and around he's got the car and he's chasing it, and now he's just driving it. But if you don't commit to driving the corner with that much speed, you're never going to lay a lap time down. You have to trust that the car is going to stick.
So a frustrating lap for Briscoe. He will be 10th fastest, not advancing into the 10 that will fight for the pole at the end of qualifying. And now it's Austin Cindric. When you talk about first-time winners, your first win coming at the biggest race in stock car racing, that has to be pretty thrilling, as he won the Daytona 500 to kick off the year.
Yeah, and Austin's done a nice job all year long of qualifying. He's had really good qualifying speed. That's helped this team. Getting that track position early in a race has allowed the rookie to be in the middle of the battle with some really good cars and really good drivers. And you can see it did not stick for him in the middle of in the middle of 3 and 4 like he needed, and it's just bleeding speed off of it. But Austin Cindric, obviously with a Daytona 500 win, but he has had a solid rookie year as well.
He'll glide back around the track, but probably won't be as happy as some that were inside the top 5. Cindric 8th quickest now, 30.36.
A struggle yesterday for, some of the Fords. You see Cindric down there in 8th, Harrison down there in 10th, Briscoe in 11th. That was a struggle yesterday. Weren't many Fords in the top 10. Parker, who you standing with?
I've caught up with Mr. Kurt Busch down here, watching intensely as these cars go around. We saw Chase Briscoe get very loose there down in turns 1 and 2 with a shift. Some guys are shifting twice around the lap. Do you expect to do that? And are you a little worried about how loose we're seeing some of these cars?
Yeah, the funny part, yesterday when we started practice, I was leaving in high gear, and they're like, other guys are shifting, and I had a nice cuss word that went along with that. I'm like, now we're going to be shifting 1,200 times during the race. Whatever it takes to adapt and to be fast. And right now the Toyotas are fast. You got to get your downshift right and still do a typical oval corner. So it's a challenge for the drivers this year, and it makes it fun.
You ran well at Gateway where we were shifting twice down into turn 1 there. So how does that change things for you as a driver tackling in qualifying, having all these extra variables with shifting as opposed to just keeping one gear?
Yeah, when you expect to shift at a track, like Gateway has really long straightaways, you're downshifting going straight. Downshifting and cornering, that's a different rhythm, and that's something I'm trying to get used to and try to perfect.
And you can see a lot of these drivers learning that with Kurt. Just try to hold on that car, Jeff. It's where you have to do it so late, it can unsell the car if you do it wrong.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, Parker, how late they shift. And the reason they're doing that is because with this car, Michael McDowell, by the way, 5th, really good lap right there. Michael McDowell's having a very solid year. But with this car, the more RPMs that you can put into it, the better the car drives. The car makes more grip. So downshifting is not just a component of trying to have more RPMs on corner exit to accelerate better. It also makes the car drive better. And so that downshift is just a tool that these teams have learned to use with this car, and it's very, very effective.
I'm guessing Chris Buescher was one of 2 drivers who wanted the season to continue right away after Sonoma 2 weeks ago. The other one being Daniel Suarez, who won. But Chris Buescher, a great finish in 2nd for RFK. And Buescher in this lap is 4th quickest. So fastest Ford so far for RFK Racing. As you see, one of the co-owners there, Brad Keselowski, looking on.
Brad had some really kind and powerful words about Chris Buescher at Sonoma, about how he thinks he's the most underrated driver on the circuit. And that Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing has a ton of confidence in Chris Buescher.
I'd mentioned 2 drivers that wanted the season to continue after Sonoma, and this one getting his first career win, Daniel Suarez. Tootsie's on board, local staple here in the Nashville area. He shifted way later in the turn than we had seen earlier. And in the green right now for Suarez. So the 30-year-old from Monterrey, Mexico, right now inside the top 5. Seconds for Daniel Suarez. And that will ensure him a spot inside of the top 5 for Group A.
You know, the most important part of that shot right there is the confidence oozing out of that helmet. I mean, you take that guy who kind of saw the end of his career. He saw things not going right and then put him in fast equipment. He's going to be hard to guard. He's I mean, he is feeling really good about himself and his team right now.
Confidence a big thing, and I would say Ross Chastain throughout the first half of this season has had a lot of confidence. 2 wins already for Ross Chastain, also a part of Trackhouse Racing, located right here in Nashville, at least co-owner. Justin Marks, located here in the Nashville area, so they call this one their home track, along with Pitbull. Chastain also in the green now, so possibly getting 2 cars into the top 5 for Trackhouse Racing. And sure enough, Chastain is 3rd quickest. We will be back for Group B to get ready for taking on the mile and a third.
Back to Nashville Superspeedway. Cup qualifying continues. Group B on the track now. Group A has run. That means the top 5 have advanced to the final group. Sitting next to the driver of the 3, I'm going to call it the star, or are you the co-star of Life in the Fast Lane?
Probably the co-star.
Co-star with Paul Swan and both of y'all's wives. Austin Dillon, AD, appreciate you joining us over here. Well, take me through your qualifying run. It's behind you now. Qualifying looks hairy in these things. Shifting, y'all are busy.
Yeah, you know, I watched Xfinity qualifying. It looked out of control, so we probably over-adjusted a little bit. We're too tight there. But our car was really good yesterday in practice. We ran a 90 and felt like we had a car that can compete. And, yeah, it's just, I think it's cooling down a little bit. The cloud cover's helping those guys that are going a little bit later, and we just missed out. I mean, we were a 14, and I think 1-2 made it, so.
You're like me. Anytime you're that close, it's
it
always
hurts.
the little things. Let's just talk about the season in general. I asked William Byron this from afar. It's crazy. All these different winners, different teams, people running up front. It's really hard to predict. It has squeezed this playoff lineup when you look at it and how you're going to get in, how you aren't. You and your teammate are right there on the cusp of the outside looking at points. When you look at it, are you thinking must win, point? What's the pathway to the playoffs?
I think it's must win. I mean, the last 2 years, myself and Reddick have had pretty solid, consistent years of running well, but been looking right on the edge of that point system. So for us in RCR, I think we've got to look and focus on winning. So be aggressive with our strategy when we can and try and make up as many points as we can.
We see the new next-gen car on track. It's been on track all year long. Corey LaJoie's taking the green flag. What's the one thing that caught you off guard with this car? What do you have to do different as a driver that perhaps the fans just don't understand how much it's changed?
Well, I mean, we're shifting a lot at a lot of different places, and I enjoy the transmission compared to the old one. It's kind of fun doing the shifting. I think that I'm starting to feel the car better now. You know, at the beginning, it was really hard to trust how much you could hang it out and really trust that right rear tire, and especially in qualifying. You can really get after it with this wide tire and the sidewall being small. There's not a lot of area, but we're getting better each and every week at that and trusting it. Pretty happy with, you know, our development so far, and we do a really good job of getting better throughout the race.
Non-NASCAR, let's go to entertainment. We're on USA Entertainment Network. Life in the Fast Lane. You, Paul Swan, both your wives. How much fun has it been to shoot, and what should the fans expect as we move forward through the year here?
Well, it was a blast. You know, our producer was really good. I feel like they kind of show a different character each week. And if you're not a racing fan, you can tune in and watch and kind of hook to someone and really enjoy the show. We have a fun. My favorite part is probably going to be our road trip out on the West Coast. That was cool. They stayed with us during that. And Ace has got a little cameo in there every now and then. But anytime you get to experience stuff with your family is key. And I think that's what's great about our sport. And for me, NASCAR gave us that platform to share, and I want to bring new fans to it.
Big wiggle out of the 23 car, Rick. Fastest in practice. I think he's going to be disappointed with this lap.
Yeah, that was really close. That was a catch. That wasn't really a wiggle. He caught that from going into the wall.
Yeah, drove into one, and the back of the car just didn't stick for him at all. Now he's got to do it again in 3 and 4. Way up the racetrack again. Nowhere near what this team was expecting.
You just heard him say, wow.
And that is a massive fall off from what they ran yesterday.
Is the track that much different from what they experienced yesterday? Watch this.
Yeah, you could see as he tried to turn, getting into the corner, just the back of the car did not stick. You know, as far as the track being, you know, that different from yesterday, yes, it is different. It had a truck race last night, but clearly it affected them more than it's affected most people.
Yeah, so the Xfinity Series has qualified already today, and now the Cup Series out here trying their best to qualify, as we saw Bubba Wallace there catch the car. Todd Gilliland on track now.
You know, you do see the sun has come back out, especially in 1 and 2. That's certainly not helping anything.
I always remember we've talked, you know, years ago that concrete tracks weren't as affected by the sun as an asphalt track. Has it changed now?
Well, it's still affected by it, and on top of that, we've talked about how this car, I see Todd Gilliland there, you know, back and forth, but this car, number one, does not make a lot of grip. It's hard to drive. You get rewarded for driving it hard, and these are relatively hard tires because of the concrete surface. So all those things mixed together, you have to have full commitment. When you drive in the corner, you have to be on pace to go sit on the pole. If not, you're never going to. And then if you lose grip, you lose it quickly. Austin Dillon just said, I'm starting to learn the feel of this car. That's been the comment about this car, is that it has grip right up until the moment it doesn't. And when it doesn't, it loses it quickly. And that's what we saw with Bubba Wallace. He had confidence, but he got in there, and the car was around on him before he even knew what happened.
Ty Dillon running that second Petty GMS entry. Parker.
Catching up here with Joe Logano, and I see you looking around all the places. You're looking at the sun. We just got some cloud cover. What are you checking out?
Oh, well, I'm hoping to keep their cloud cover. For one, it feels good while we're standing here, but also I'd like to have that when we're on the racetrack with our Shell Penzo Mustang and see what it's got. You know, this qualifying here just seems so sketchy. It seems like if you can just lay down a smooth lap, you'll have a decent one, but if you want to get the pole, you got to go for it. So we'll kind of wait and see. Our car was mediocre in practice, and we made a lot of changes, so we'll see.
When do you make that decision to go for it or not?
See how 1 and 2 goes, or maybe my up to speed. I'll see how my up to speed goes, and then we'll figure it out.
That's the tester, guys. 3 and 4 there. Just feel it out a little bit, and he'll make that decision.
Up to speed. We're seeing the 8 make his way out onto the track now. That's Tyler Reddick, the 26-year-old.
Ty Dillon went out. He's second fastest at a 64. I don't think that's going to be enough to stay in that top 5. Ty Dillon's had a solid year. He's done a nice job of clawing out really good, consistent finishes. But I can tell you right now, all eyes are on Tyler Reddick. What is the condition of this racetrack? How much grip is there out there? Tyler Reddick was 3rd fastest yesterday, and we know that he's going to be pushing the limit to see if this track has grip in it or not.
That's what everybody loves about Tyler Reddick. He does test the limits. And a good 1 and 2 for Reddick there. He's 0.3 of a second faster than what Gilliland. Again, we're going off of 5th now because the top 5 will advance with the top 5 from Group A to determine the top 10 starting positions. Reddick, as you mentioned yesterday, ran a 29.84 and was 3rd quick, a 30.13 today. So a little over 0.2 of a second slower than what he ran yesterday.
We may be seeing the track start to lose some grip as the day is wore on. We did show sunshine in 1 and 2. Maybe this second group isn't going to be as fast as the first group.
Helmet going on for Kevin Harvick.
Tyler Reddick's lap, that 30.13, would not have made the fastest 5 in Group A. So maybe the track has lost a little bit of speed.
Here's 16 of A.J. Allmendinger. Dinger running the Xfinity Series race here this afternoon. Qualified 2nd for the Xfinity race. Six-tenths of a second faster right now than 5th place Cody Ware. And Allmendinger is now fastest in Group B at a 30.10. And as you mentioned, a 30.10 wouldn't have made the Group A top 5, but that's the fastest so far here in Group B as we see Kurt Busch rolling out on track.
Look at Kurt scuffing those tires down the back straightaway. Trying to get them ready, try to make as much grip as they will. Is he a little nervous after watching his teammate Bubba Wallace struggle as badly as he did?
There he's going into the cloud cover in turns 1 and 2. So a little bit of a break through 1 and 2, then back out into full sun for the backstretch and into 3 and 4. Trending a little faster there than Bubba Wallace, 0.3 of a second. Mentioned Michael Jordan here, co-owner of 2311, watching on. Kurt got the 2nd win for the organization earlier this year. That coming at Kansas, and so Kurt goes 3rd quickest in this 2nd group. There's MJ.
Still a lot of very good race cars to go. I don't know that that's going to be fast enough to make the Fast 5.
30.14 for Kurt Busch. And here comes Kyle Busch, younger brother. Only Kyle Busch and Richard Petty have won races every year for 18 consecutive seasons, as Kyle's coming up to take the green flag for his qualifying run.
It's a great view right here. You can see those clouds, how the second half of the front straightaway is clouded, still clouded all the way into 1. Good shade all the way through 2. Nice smooth lap here so far. Now the Suns in 3 and 4. Oh, he's around.
And into the wall. And again.
Spun. Back then into the wall there, left rear.
That's how difficult it is.
So how quick that happened. He drives in the corner and everything looks good, and all of a sudden his hands got really busy trying to catch up with the car. This car is so difficult.
Right front tires down on this 18. Parker.
And guys, just watching that, and you talked about it, Jeff, just how quickly that went around, talking to so many of these drivers down here, and you heard Joe Logano use the word sketchy. It's just you have to drive this car so deep in the corner to create speed, and it's on such a knife edge. And one of the things that's so different compared to everything we've known in stock cars and those Xfinity cars we watched earlier is that you don't have feedback from the car. You have to drive it to like a mental point that you know is the edge, and then hold it there and hope it sticks. And so that's what a lot of these drivers are dealing with. And when you have these conditions like we're seeing today with the cloud cover and no cloud cover of the sun and the different conditions, it just makes it such a tough thing to do. And it caught out Kyle Busch, obviously one of the best.
And Parker, people are wondering why he's backing down pit road. He quite simply just didn't want to turn the car around and take a chance of driving up and down the banking and messing up more of the car, doing more damage to the underbody of the car. So he just backed it up. He put himself in a position where he didn't have to damage the car any more than there already is when he was able to just slowly turn the car around, and that's what he did, and then he started going forward.
So they will go to work on the 18 because this happened in turn 3. Gets loose, goes around. Even a 2-time champion, 60-time winner in the Cup Series. It can happen. That's how difficult it is. Cup Series qualifying continuing from Nashville Super Speedway. Now it's Brad Keselowski, co-owner of RFK Racing, on track. And Chris Buescher went out in the first group and was 6th quickest in that group at a 30:12. We'll see how Brad does. He's now on the clock. Coming out onto the racetrack just after what Kyle Busch just experienced. Car getting loose on him in turn 3, backing it into the wall.
And Brad's practice yesterday is one of the biggest I've ever seen Brad Keselowski struggle in a Cup practice. And he just really never had the pace, never looked good, never looked comfortable. And so far right now, this is, although moves himself into the top 5, not the speed that he's expecting out of this race car.
He's 0.3 of a second slower than his company car there with Chris Buescher. Want to look back on what happened with Kyle Busch just moments ago as we see him climbing out of the car now. He's back to the crew.
Yeah,
take a look at this.
Yeah, a lot of things going on here. So watch Kyle Busch drives into the corner. We talked about the sun, a little less grip down here. A quick downshift, right? Boom. As soon as he downshifts, now he's chasing the car. And watch his head. Watch his head move forward right before he hits the wall. And you really don't want to do that. Like, you really want to get your head pinned up against the back of the seat, but your reaction is get away from it,
instinct,
right? Get
probably,
away from
yeah.
it. But what you really want to do is get your head back into that seat. And then we talked about I thought it was a smart move to back down pit road to keep from damaging the car anymore. But it's just a great example of how difficult these cars are to drive. And if you're not willing to do what he just did, you're never going to run fast.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to spin the thing out. You have to be willing to wreck it. You have to be willing to find the edge if you're going to have success driving these race cars. And, hey, man, they're the best in the world at doing it. Sometimes it gets away from them.
Look at this lap for Eric Almirola. And that's fastest now in Group B, just under 30 seconds.
Really good lap.
So Eric Almirola yesterday in practice ran a 30, more or less flat, 30.026, but one of the only in Group B to have improved upon what he did yesterday.
Sat on the pole here last year, ran very well at this race, and he's right at that cut line of making the playoffs or not. These next 10 races are going to be pressure filled, and what he has said is his last year. It's going to be pressure filled for Eric to make these playoffs.
Now let's see what Joey Logano has decided as he's on his up to speed lap through 3 and 4. He said to Parker earlier. We'll see if I'm going to go for it.
Oh, he's going to go for it.
In the green, again, relating to Corey LaJoie in the top 5. That group will advance. Top 5 in Group A and top 5 in Group B will advance to determine the top 10. And Logano, pretty smooth lap there. Good exit out of 4. And a 29.90 for Joey Logano. So the fastest now in Group B. We saw the comparison also to Hamlin, Suarez, Chastain, Bell, and Truex Jr. They all are advancing out of Group A. Parker.
Well, guys, one very interested watcher here of this qualifying session, Tyler Reddick, who once Kyle Busch spun out, a huge, very dark cloud cover has come over this racetrack, and you feel like that's really speeding things up, and right now you're sitting 4th. You think you make it?
It's unfortunate. You know, we were hoping this was going to get here before we went, and it was pretty crazy. It felt like it's cooled off 20 degrees at least, and yeah, a lot of the speed of the cars that have gone since Almirola and Logano have been way faster, and looks like we'll see if Alex trends the right way, but certainly anytime it's cooler, when the margins are as close as they are with this car and how much grip this car has, everything matters. So I didn't do my best job in our 3G Chevrolet in qualifying, so to miss it a little bit and then get the cloud cover working against us too, it's going to be a tough one.
If you do make it, what will you change? He's going to the green there.
If we make it, hopefully I just do a little cloud dance, but it's not looking good. Not looking good.
No, guys, as you see Alex Bowman now, Reddick on the bubble there in 5th.
Yeah, Bowman goes to 3rd. Reddick now drops down to that 5th and bubble spot, right on the line as to who will advance to try to get into the top 10.
I think he's right about the cloud cover. We've seen the racetrack. We saw Kyle Busch go out, and it was clouded in 1 and 2, sunny in 3 and 4. We've seen the opposite, but right now the entire racetrack has cloud cover. Parker.
Guys, something interesting to watch here of Kyle Larson. We've seen a lot of drivers shifting on both ends, but yesterday one of the few drivers not doing that and not shifting down in 3 and 4. He was keeping the car in 5th gear, was Kyle Larson. I spoke to him just before this, and I said, what are you going to decide to do? He said, I'm just going to play it by the moment and feel it out. If I get a little loose, I'll probably downshift in 3 and 4. Otherwise, I might just keep it in 5th. One of the few doing that.
Winner of last year's race, actually dominated last year's race.
So the question is, why would he not shift in others? And, you know, if you feel like you're carrying good momentum and you don't need more RPMs and you can just focus on driving the race car, then there's no advantage in shifting. He said, if I got loose, I'm going to downshift. You see this lap's good enough to move to 2nd. The reason he said he would if he got loose, he would downshift was to get that momentum back from the loss in speed. And also we talked about when you downshift, the car drives better. So if you're loose, try to get the thing downshifted, get more RPMs into the rear axles, and ultimately that can make the car actually just drive and feel more secure to the driver.
Cloud cover once again over the entire track now as William Byron's going to make his way around the 1 1/3. Up to speed lap for William, teammate to Kyle Larson at Hendrick Motorsports. 2 wins already this year for William Byron. And when he's not in the Cup car, he's racing late model. So a little more racing for the Hendrick driver. Trending in the green as he goes into 1.
You heard him downshift. You can actually hear it. He's got some ground to make up, Rick, in 3 and 4 here.
Chased it up the track in the center of 1 and 2. Let's see if this 3 and 4 any better. He was in the green entering, and once again up the track just a bit, but back into the green. And we'll see for how long William Byron is in the top 5. He does make it to 5th with that lap.
Yeah.
A smiling A.J. Allmendinger. Only 3 cars remain in Group B.
So now he can go focus on his Xfinity car, right? Do solid qualifying effort in Cup. Now he goes focus on his Xfinity car, which has a really good car over there. Feels like he can win that race.
Harvick gets the green. Another amazing season starting off for Kevin Harvick. Coming off of a season where he had 9 wins, and from that last win, it's been over 50 races that he has not been able to find victory lane.
So far having a really good lap, and I'm going to tell you, based off practice yesterday, I did not see this coming.
Yeah.
I did not see Kevin Harvick and this team having enough speed to have a shot to be in the top 5 all the way to 3rd with 2 cars to go. Great job from improving from yesterday.
Yeah, Harvick yesterday in practice was 29th, and now up to 3rd in Group B, and with only 2 drivers still to go, could lock himself in.
Yeah, don't count.
He has locked himself in. Even if 2 drivers are faster than him, he's still going to be 5th.
Don't ever count out Kevin Harvick and Rodney Childers. They just claw and fight.
Ryan Blaney now on track, surprisingly also winless after a couple wins a year ago here in 2022. The 28-year-old from High Point, North Carolina. In the green. Looking to be a pretty good lap here for Blaney. Fords weren't as strong yesterday in practice, but it seems like in this group they're showing a little more speed with Harvick, Logano, obviously Almirola, and now Blaney. So 4 of the 5 in the top 5 are Fords.
The only thing that is to be expected is the unexpected. This year, that is a microcosm of this year.
Yeah.
Like, we saw practice yesterday, and if you would have told me that Almirola, Harvick, Blaney, Logano would be in the top 5 with only 1 car to go, I'd be like, what? You're nuts. There's no way. And here they are.
Final one to go out in Group B. Chase Elliott, the multiple-time most popular driver, a licensed pilot, Cup Series champion. And he takes the green as the final car in Group B.
Well, it's going to be close, Rick.
Yeah, got into turn 1 a little bit deeper and was into the green, then lost it on the exit of 2. Now he's right there. Can he get to the line and stay in the green? He will bump Almirola out. Chase Elliott is 3rd quickest. And so it will be Logano, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, and Harvick out of Group B that will join Hamlin, Suarez, Chastain, Bell, and Truex Jr. We'll be back to chat after this. Here are the 5 drivers from each group that will advance to determine the top 10 starting positions, as well as who will win the pole. From Group A, Hamlin, Suarez, Chastain, Bell, and Truex Jr. Out of Group B, really Ford heavy in Logano, Blaney, Harvick, adding that, Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. Once again, the 2nd year being back in the Nashville area, and we want to learn a little bit more about Nashville. Let's go to Rutt City View. He's hanging out at Tootsie's. Rutt.
Oh, Rick, I'm missing being there at the track with you guys, but it is incredible down here in downtown Nashville. We're about 20 minutes or so away from you guys, but we got a band playing. They were just cranking out 9 to 5. The cool thing is we're seeing a ton of NASCAR fans. I met a couple from London this morning who came in just for this weekend. Met a sweet couple from New Jersey. They're out on the porch enjoying drinks right now, but it is going to be an amazing weekend. We're going to show you some of the sights and sounds that make Nashville so special, especially to the racing community. We got lots more coming up live from Nashville when we get back.
Pretty quick shower that's passing through the Nashville Superspeedway area as you look at today's schedule. Austin Dillon's Life in the Fast Lane. That's coming up next here on USA. Then countdown to green, and it's racing from the Speedway here. Xfinity Series racing from Nashville. That's at 3:30. And NASCAR America Post Race Show wraps things up at 6 o'clock. Parker, did you finally get Martin out of the rain?
We did. Well, it was only a sprinkle, and then it suddenly got harder, and you can see his car is not covered. No one's got umbrellas. I think we were all unprepared for this. We've now taken refuge under a pit box here, Martin. So I take you out of the rain because it was cooling you down for a second. But I want to, before we get into all that, I want to jump back to just something that was early this weekend. You announced you were coming back, and possibly the greatest announcement of all time for next year. You said, "I'm coming back."
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So that's the way I said it. But really excited, obviously, you know, to keep driving this 19 car. We got a great team and, you know, great bunch at JGR. We obviously haven't had the season we wanted, but working hard and feeling good about getting things going the right direction. And felt good about our best pro Camry this weekend. So optimistic, see what we can do.
And I love the way you did it because it's sort of your personality. Just keep it low key. What went into that decision? What was the holdup maybe, and what finally made the decision for you to say, I want to come back?
Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly, it's the first time in my career I just had time to just look at everything and say, what do I want to do? Do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to keep, you know, on this grind of 38 races and sponsor commitments and all the things that we do here? The racing part of it's always fun. It's always a blast, but there's a lot of things you have to do outside of that. And I just wanted to make sure I was, you know, fully committed to be able to do that and still be happy and do the things I like to do away from the racetrack. So worked it all out. And at the end of the day, I got a lot more races to win and been close on a few championships that I'd sure like to get another shot at. So got a lot of great partners with Bass Pro and auto owners and racers and DeWalt, just everybody that supports us, and it's tough to let all those people down.
Let's look ahead to this weekend. I mean, we just suddenly had this rain shower. You did make the second round of qualifying. We'll see if we get to go again. I'm not looking great this moment, but what are you expecting for the race here at Nashville with these next-gen cars?
Well, first off, I wish we got to go again. I feel like I could have done a better job, and I think, you know, conditions obviously were getting better there with the clouds. But fortunately for us, it didn't rain until after that last guy, that second round went, or otherwise it would have went off metrics and we would have been in a bad way. So thankful for that. But honestly, one of the best practices we've had all year yesterday, and I felt really good. We were just a little bit off on pace, but the car felt really good and had great long run speed. So I'm optimistic and you know, looking forward to a great day here tomorrow.
And now that you know you're coming back, your guys know you're coming back, that gets the focus just on the racing, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I've been doing it long enough that it's easy to, you know, separate the two and worry about that stuff, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe, and still do your homework and still work with your team and worry about what matters to make cars go fast and all that. But I think for the guys, it's always a little bit nervous, and for sure for the higher, you know, for coach and all the guys that run the place, I think they were a little nervous. So it was good to get it out of the way.
Well, I just got breaking news. They've canceled the rest of qualifying. You're going to start 10th, by the way.
Not as good as we'd like to be, but we can win from there.
There you go, guys. Starting 10th for Martin Truex. Seems very positive and optimistic with this car.
As Parker mentioned, the second round of qualifying has been canceled. Every driver was able to get out onto the track, so they will go back to and revert to round one. That's the way we'll set the field. We'll show that to you when we return.
Hi, I'm Austin Dillon, two-time NASCAR champion in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. I've won 3 Cup races, the Coke 600, the Daytona 500, and Texas Motor Speedway. I was born in Winston-Salem. I currently live in Thomasville, North Carolina. My earliest memory of Daytona would be Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s victory. I was 8 years old.
You can't drive. No.
I remember doing the hat dance in Victory Lane. The best part of being a NASCAR driver is getting to climb in a race car that has a lot of horsepower and drive the wheels off of it each and every weekend.
Austin Dillon giving pursuit.
Family means everything to me. NASCAR and family go hand in hand, and you got to have family to ride the lows and the highs with to really enjoy this sport. The best way for me to stay focused is to stay even keel and try and just live in the moment. I don't really start to think about the task at hand until I really strap in that race car and then give my total focus over to my team and my car. You become comfortable with pressure and wouldn't know how to live without it at this point. We've had the word FIDO on the top of our car. It stands for forget it and drive on. So try not to let the small things ruin your day. This is what you dream about, and dreams are made here. Life in the fast lane. A lot of goofy, funny stuff with my wife.
We're about to win. Oh, I popped my thing again.
Her best friend Mariel, and my buddy Paul. And Paul's always trying to put on a show.
This is the person that really completes him, Paul.
Hi, neighbor. Locked myself out.
Yeah, the first episode of Life in the Fast Lane is coming up right after the end of this show, which looks as though it's getting rained out. Jeff, what do you think here? We will have Life in the Fast Lane next. Countdown to Green, Xfinity Series Racing, and NASCAR America post-race show, all right here on USA. Stay with us for the remainder of the afternoon. And we take a look at the starting grid. We mentioned earlier that after all of the drivers were able to complete round one in both Group A and Group B, that makes it official. So Denny Hamlin is able to capture his 35th career pole, and he will start on the inside of Joey Logano. It's Larson, Elliott, Suarez, Blaney, Chastain, and Harvick. I think that top 8 surprise, probably even the top 10 will surprise a few people, because the Fords didn't show a lot of speed yesterday in practice, but all of a sudden come out here and have a pretty good showing in qualifying.
They showed it when it counted. Chris Buescher continued to impress. Tyler Reddick, he was disappointed with his run, thought he missed it a little bit. Then he thought he caught a bad break with the cloud. I agree with him. I thought the track got a little bit faster.
Austin Dillon back there in row 10. Eric Jones, Austin Cindric making up row 12. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just signing a multi-year deal with JTG Doherty Racing. He'll stay with that organization in row 13. And rounding out the field, BJ McLeod and Kyle Busch after his wreck in turns 3 and 4. So he'll start at the back of the field. We have more from Nashville. Stick with us as this rain shower passes through and the jet dryers are going to make their way out onto the track. Qualifying is complete. Rain shower now passing through the Nashville Super Speedway area, but it's all bright and sunny where Rutledge Wood is with City View in Nashville.
Rick, it's amazing. I'm down here on the rooftop patio at Tootsie's, and everywhere you look, you can see excitement in Nashville, especially when the street crossing happens here at Broadway. It looks like Shibuya in Tokyo, but a lot more drinking, that's for sure. You know, Thursday night, Trackhouse and Daniel Suarez brought his car down here and did a pit stop for all the fans that were packing the street. It's amazing to see how much effort Trackhouse has really put in to being a NASCAR country-based team, and they're really talking about trying to bring the entire organization here to downtown. You can see why. The way people reacted to it being here is amazing. But, you know, when you take a look around downtown Nashville and you see the legends and why racing and country music go hand in hand. I mean, everywhere you look, you got Ernest Tubb Record Shop that just closed, historic behind us, but every rooftop has a patio. People are out here for a party, for a great time. The only bummer is you guys 25 minutes away, it's raining there. I'll be honest, feels like maybe today be a good day for a city course. Just run right through downtown, because I'll be honest, it is alive down here, boys. I wish y'all were here.
Well, Rutledge, I want to ask you a question. Now, when this was brought up that you were going to be in the city, which is close to the racetrack, how excited were you to be able to experience that lifestyle that all the race fans get to experience when they come to a race on a race weekend?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, if you think about it, it's like the infield, but in different bars and restaurants. To get to be down here, like right off camera, there's a bunch of Martin Truex Jr. fans, huge Dale Jr. fans everywhere I go down here. But to see the couple that I met this morning from London, or the sweet couple from New Jersey celebrating their 52nd wedding anniversary, and they get to be here for it, it's just amazing, because you realize some of these big cities like Nashville really reach out so tightly to those tracks and support it hand in hand. It's just an amazing thing. it really is. Plus, you got Josh Berry 20 minutes away. He grew up in Hendersonville. So, racing is a huge part of this culture down here, as is country music. So I couldn't be more excited to get to be down here and highlight some of those connections, guys.
All right, what can we expect from you, Rut? I know that today you're at Tootsie's. Will you be making your way on Broadway throughout the rest of the day, or tomorrow somewhere else? Where are you headed?
Well, the beauty of this, Rick, is I can roam around. We can go wherever. Like right now, we could come down here and get on this tractor and enjoy. There's a lot of bachelorette parties. Some people would say too many. I would say not enough. And amazingly, I've not seen any of them fall riding around in these things, because every time they stop, you think, oh, they're going to fall. But I met a friend right over here. She said she did it last month. It was fine. So who knows? We might meet a bachelorette. I've seen a lot of birthday girls out and about. It's a party everywhere down here. So that's going to be the surprise for you guys. I don't want to tell you everywhere I'm going.
An exciting statistic about Nashville: 60,000 of the people that live in the Nashville area work in the music industry. So that's the most in the world as far as where those people are located. And we are very excited to announce that Dolly Parton will be a part of our show tomorrow. So we're looking forward to that as well. Rutledge, have a lot of fun in Nashville. Keep us informed as to what's going on there. Again, more to come from Nashville Super Speedway right after this. Make sure to join us tomorrow. Marty Snyder will get us underway with Countdown to Green at 4 o'clock. That's on Peacock. And then at 5 o'clock on NBC, it will be Cup Series racing from right here at Nashville Super Speedway. And we'll round out the day. NASCAR America Post Race Show, 9 o'clock. That's on Peacock once again. So you will hear from all the drivers after the race ends tomorrow, the second one here at Nashville. Take a look at the playoff standings. 12 drivers have already won in the first 16 races of the season. There's only 4 multiple winners with Ross Chastain, William Byron, Joey Logano, and Denny Hamlin. Those 4 are locked in. Everybody else, if we would get 5 more winners, the potential is that a winner might not make it into the playoffs, Jeff.
That would be difficult, and I think you almost have to think like that. I think even Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, they got to be thinking they need to win. They can't assume they can point themselves in. We heard Rodney Childress, Kevin Harvick's crew chief, sitting there in 17th. He said this week, we feel like we have to win. We are not going to be able to point our way into saying 10 races to go. Right. You better get going. There's going to be a very intense next 10 races.
Just 10 races remaining in the 2022 regular season before we get into the playoffs. Earlier this week, a mountain in the world of motorsports passed away in Bruton Smith. And what an incredible ambassador of this sport he was, Jeff.
And visionary. Somebody that was willing to take chances, do things that others were afraid to do, and wanted to showcase this sport, wanted to build a monument and build racetracks that showed how great this sport could be and provide a stadium atmosphere for race fans. And incredible what he did for this sport. His family continues to do it. What he's done for the sport will live forever.
Yeah, raced against Bill France, was competing against Bill France early before there even was a NASCAR. A life well lived, Bruton Smith. Track drying nicely, and that means that the rest of today is going to look very exciting from here at the racetrack. Austin Dillon's Life in the Fast Lane will be up next here on USA. Then it's Countdown to Green at 3 o'clock. Xfinity Series racing from right here at this mile and a third at 3:30, and NASCAR America Post Race Show at 6 o'clock. I want to take a look at the Xfinity Series standings before we get underway with today's race. Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson, Josh Berry, and A.J. Allmendinger, all multiple-time winners. And you got Allgaier, Brandon Jones, and Austin Hill locked into the playoffs. And it's been an interesting season already for the Xfinity Series, Jeff, in the sense that it seems like this field is so deep, anybody can get to victory lane here.
Yeah, it's a much deeper field than we've seen in the last few years. Tight point battles all the way down to 20th in points, really, with really good cars that are sitting outside of that top 12 right now. So a lot of pressure on those teams. They actually have more races left in their regular season than the Cup Series, so still time to go get it done. But on a racetrack today that we've seen already how slick, it's hot out there, it's slick. It's going to be interesting to see these young guys take these veterans on. I think it's going to be a great battle.
See Riley Herbst. He is currently 11th in the point standings, playoff standings there. And he will start on pole later this afternoon. Motor Mouths at 6 Eastern on Peacock on Mondays and Wednesdays. Great show. Listened in on Monday earlier. They were talking about Daniel Suarez and his path, where he has come from and where he is now. Rutledge Wood challenged me if I could roll my R's. I said, of course I can roll my R's. Daniel Suarez.
That's good.
See, I worked on that just for that very moment there. But again, Monday and Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. It's on Peacock, and you can get that on peacocktv.com. And you can call in. That's one of the greatest things about Motor Mouths is the fans can call in and enjoy not only the commentator, sometimes drivers call in as part of it as well. 844 NASCAR NBC is the number for that. Smiles for Ross Chastain. Again, qualifying over for the Cup Series. Denny Hamlin won the pole. His teammate Kyle Busch went for a little bit of a wild ride. He'll start at the back of the field after that qualifying effort. Coming up right now, it's Austin Dillon's Life in the Fast Lane.